Very good, Ingrid Miley, thanks for that.
Two men involved in a sit-in protest at the taxi regulator's office in Dublin have in the last hour been served with High Court orders compelling them to leave. Protests by taxi drivers in support of the two men have been taking place all over the country during the day. The drivers are seeking a meeting with the Transport Minister over what they claim is the unfair regulation of the industry.
This was the scene at many taxi ranks today as taxi drivers parked up in protest. And this is where it started yesterday when, following their meeting about industry reform with the taxi regulator at her office in Dublin, 4 members of drivers' organisation, the Irish Taxi Council, began a sit-in protest. 2 of the drivers were forced to leave, but the other 2 remained and say they'll stay there until they get what they want.
This is it. This is the last stand for us.
As news spread, other drivers parked up in solidarity, closing O'Connell Street in Dublin this evening and discommoding passengers arriving into Dublin Airport.
It's tedious, it happens so often, and I haven't great sympathy with them, to be honest.
I can't understand why they're on strike. They must be earning a lot of money. They can afford to be on strike.
It's an inconvenience, but I can take a bus.
The action then spread to Limerick, Cork and, according to taxi representatives, other urban areas. The taxi drivers have a whole series of gripes. In particular, they don't like a new rule due in January, which will require all taxis to be 9 years old or less. And they don't like the increase in the PSV licence fee from €3 to €250. But most of all, they're unhappy because they say they can't make any money.
You can go into the minutiae of all the details and all the different regulations and legislations and everything else, but the simple fact is we want to be able to, as full-time taxi drivers, make a living, pay our bills and feed our families.
The protesters threatened escalations unless they got a meeting with the Transport Minister. But rebuffing that demand, the Minister's spokesman said the Commission for Taxi Regulation regulates the industry. In a statement, the regulator said it cannot and will not be influenced by such actions and that it remains committed to planned reforms with consultation. And so it seems an escalation of the protest is likely. Will Goodbody, RTE News.
And just to bring you up to date on this, I think we can bring you some of the images from the traffic cameras around Dublin City to give you an indication of the disruption that's been taking place in the centre of the capital. That's Dublin City Centre. That's O'Connell Street at the moment, I believe, and traffic there has been brought to a standstill. The street is closed in both directions as a result of the protest. And these are further pictures. That's, I think, some of the taxi drivers involved in the protest. You can see that their vehicles have blocked the street. Traffic has been diverted away from O'Connell Street. All traffic, private cars and buses indeed as well. And indeed even the Lewis has been disrupted as a result of the disruption in the city centre. Traffic, we're told, is congested on the North Quays from Wolftone Quay to Bachelor's Walk as a result. Also heavily inbound on Amiens Street. That's the images along the quays outside the forecourts as a result of